Today we're going to do damages. If you don't have this down by now, if you don't have it down on paper, I don't mean down in your head. If you don't have it down in paper or on an Excel spreadsheet, then you're not going to pass the final. The final is 2 questions. It will take you every minute of an hour and 50 minutes to do, an hour and a half, which is what you get, and it is going to touch just about everything that we've done. All right, so it's not just going to be forming a corporation and, you know, hiring somebody under HR. It's going to be fairly extensive. Now, in a couple of weeks, I will do a semester review, 1 or 2 classes, as long as it takes, and we will go use all 3 whiteboards, and we will fill it up with everything we've done all semester. But even now, you've got to have these issues up here and have got to have your notes under them. Now, the problem in the test that you gave me, which I'm going to have you redo, is too many people said it's a lawsuit and it means it goes to trial, and completely left out the plaintiff and the defendant and the complaint and the answer and the pleadings and the discovery and the alternative dispute resolution. You left all of that out. Okay? It's a lawsuit. The 2 ladies are suing the state for shutting them down. And so the 2 ladies would be the plaintiffs, the state of South Carolina would be the defendant, and the cause of action is improper shutting down of the business. Now, what else is in that problem? Just yell out. What else did you find in the problem? People found different things, which is fine. I don't mind that. But what did you find in there? Huh? All right, there was a tort. If there's a tort, then you're going to probably have a litigation, or vice versa. What else? Forms of business. All right. I simply told you had a capital issue. They had $50,000. They needed $100,000. So forming the business of they were buying the laundromat that's first week of the class stuff. Okay. So it should have been, this is a form of business issue, and you formed the laundromat. Basic business was definitely in there, but not everybody caught it. Okay? Not everybody talked about that. And if I give you dollar figures for the capital, and then I give you dollar figures to run the laundromat, that's like a big hint. You know, profit equals revenue minus expenses. So you need to just have one sentence in there. The 2 women need to have profit equals revenue minus expenses so that they can have enough money to live on and make profit. So this one's definitely in. This one's definitely in. Management. What do you think about management?
Yes.
All right. Management is in. Not many people did that, but I think that's a good one. They have to decide whether to fire their 1 employee. They have to decide who's going to be, of the 2 of them, who's going to run the laundromat. Okay, it's not a big management problem. You don't have 100 employees, but even in a small business, running the business requires some management. In this, you know, they need a SWOT and they need a strategic plan. Just when it's the 2 women and 1 employee to run the laundromat. Torts. Plaintiff is the women. Defendant is the state. Now, when you have the litigation, which in this one you do, we talked about torts. Means somebody is hurt and you are looking for dollars. Or contract that's breached and you're looking for dollars, or you're looking for something that's called specific performance. You have given somebody $10 million, they are supposed to give you 100 trucks. The trucks don't run, so you sue them either for the 10 million, or you sue them, keep the 10 million, but bring me 100 trucks that run. Okay, that's called specific performance. Marketing wasn't an issue. All right, now we're doing damages today. Damages is quick and easy. You can have damages in civil court and damages in criminal court. We're not doing criminal in this case, in this class, but in criminal court, the jury can give the victim damages, usually dollars. Yeah, Bobby?
If we got litigation, do we need to have torts in our own section?
Yeah. So the criminal would be a jury to a victim, but we're not really doing that. If you find that there's litigation, then there's going to be torts 99% of the time.
Right.
All right?
I would have to do it in your own section.
Remember, who are you writing for? Who are you writing for? The boss. Okay, I told you on the first day. All right, I'm teaching you to write for your boss. So when you write for your boss, who maybe works for the state of South Carolina and wants to know what happened with that laundromat case, and you're writing him a memo, how do you think he's going to want it? He's going to probably want it separated. Okay? This is a form of business, this is management, this is tort, this is litigation. Okay? Remember who you're writing it for. You're not writing it for me. You're writing it so that, just like somebody showed me the test from the other one-on-one class, I ought to be able to take your test. I could take Logan's test, and I could take it over to the other one-on-one class, and they should be able to tell what we're studying. Okay? All right, so you got damages in civil, which is what we're talking about. You got a lawsuit, you got litigation, and you're asking for dollars, you're asking to be made whole. When you sue somebody, you're asking I want to be in the same position that I was in a year ago. I want to be in the same position that I was in before I got involved with you. Okay, it's like boyfriend or girlfriend. I want to be in the same position I was before I ever met you. And that's what your damages are. Damages are consequential, which are actual damages. That's a form of the word consequences. Because of the lawsuit, I've had these consequential damages, actual damages. I broke my leg. It cost me $10,000 to get it fixed. I broke my head at Food Lion. I had $5,000 in medical bills with a cracked skull. All right, so those are your actual dollar damages. Then you have the extra damages, which are attorney's fees. When I was practicing law, I charged $100 an hour, $125 if I was in court. The normal price now is $350 an hour, in or out of court. Lost wages. If you're out because you hurt, broken leg, broken skull, you aren't working, you're losing wages. Even if you own your own business, it's costing you some money. So you're losing for lost wages. And you've got what I call the pain in the butt dollars. All right? The pain in the butt dollars are other things that happen. Daycare, you got to have a rental car, maybe you got to buy a new suit to go to court. It could be 50 things. So it's extra damages. Number 3 is nominal damages. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen where a jury will say the plaintiff wins, but we award the plaintiff $1. Maybe it's in a car wreck, and the jury finds out that both of them were at fault, but the plaintiff wins the case, that the defendant was more at fault than the plaintiff. Maybe the defendant has a car parked at the side of the road, and the plaintiff comes down the road driving way too fast and clips the side of the defendant's car, and he's got damages to his car and he's got a broken arm. And so he sues the defendant for leaving a parked car on the road. But it comes out at trial that the plaintiff was driving too fast, or he would have seen the parked car and he would have stopped. So the jury says, we're going to fine for the plaintiff, but we're going to award him $1. That's called nominal damages. You win the lawsuit, but you don't get any damages. And the best way to think about that is $1. The other is punitive, which means to punish. Can anybody know the most famous punitive damage case? Y'all are all so young.
Oklahoma bombings?
Uh-uh.
Oklahoma bombings? Oklahoma City bombings?
No. McDonald's coffee. All right. Old lady drives through the drive-through and gets a cup of coffee. Puts it in her car, puts it in drive, pulls out, the cup of coffee spills, burns her lap. She sues McDonald's, and she wins $1 million. This was 21 years ago. Now, when the time that came out, I had just finished law school, and people were just, oh, you know, lawyers, the hell with lawyers. Look at this, you know, winning $100, that's ridiculous. McDonald's shouldn't have to pay for her spilling her own coffee. That's, you know, that's ridiculous. All right. Well, when they went to trial, they found out that in order to speed up McDonald's, in order to speed up the process, they kept their coffee boiling. Okay, boiling. So when they poured that coffee into that cup, it came out of coffee that was literally boiling. And when she spilled it in her lap, she had 3rd-degree burns. It went through the muscle. All right? So McDonald's, she wins $1.50 for the cup of coffee and $1 million to teach McDonald's, to punish McDonald's not to have boiling coffee. And that's the best example of a punitive case.